Okay guys, sorry about that. We are back. My laptop just randomly froze in the middle of a session. And that was bad. So we'll restart the session. Playing as the weasel today. I just introduced the strategy. Small balling, favouring, flop checks, later streets, accuracy, value betting, blue line, anti-rake. That kind of thing. Let's get the cards in there. Let's play as the weasel. Hopefully it will not crash again. If it does, I'm probably going to give up. I'm still waiting on my main PC getting fixed. I spilled coffee all over it 2 weeks ago. The company still haven't picked it up. I've been battling with them. Yeah, it's been a good time at Cart Corner HQ, you know? Lots of good variants. Not. Okay, going to be going for min here. Again, today is the default sizing in all positions. Extreme small balling style. Can 4-bet, can call here. Either plays alright. In true weasel fashion though, we are going to call and navigate the post-flop waters. Keeping pots a bit smaller where possible. It might not be easy against a Brazilian reg. Button versus cutoff 3-bet pot though. I'm going for check call flop here. And I think we can fold 10-9 against cutoff, 2.2 call against min probably. So bet check bet on this particular run out is going to be pretty difficult for them to bluff enough. Especially when we have 2 10s in our hand. We've lost here if they don't bluff this river. Because you know this player type is going to bluff if they have air there, but they just don't really have air because they're going to bet most of it on turn. They're going to bet king queen on turn. They're going to bet like low straight draw random cards on turn. Their checking range is basically top pair. Maybe something like 9s, that's how we win, right? If they just randomly have 9s and don't bluff with it on river. But that's really about it. And if they bet that river, it's a very underbluffed spot. So bet check bet is a line that is very underbluffed in 3-bet pots on certain runouts that are hard to miss, but it can be very overbluffed in single raise pots where ranges are wider and that kind of thing. So you'll notice that even though I've outlined a default approach here of being a bit tighter, I'm still going to take opens like 8-7 on button because weasel is not about sacrificing EV, and I'm a strong believer that if we don't open this hand here with the recreational player in small blind, we do sacrifice EV. So we're taking that spot. We're taking all these little gnawing away at people's spots as weasel, just avoiding the big pots where we pay lots of rake and don't have much edge, and we're trying to bypass these big high variance battle spots if you're playing the weasel style in favor of just getting on to the next hand and getting to the next gold mine spot. No, we're not re-rolling. That would be... I know you guys didn't want to see the weasel. Maybe you think it's boring, but I will prove you wrong today. There is a certain elegance and beauty to the weasel style. Okay, so I'm playing small bets, checks, playing a lot of flop checks. I'm just going to check here against the random recreational broken stack. We face half pot, which can be a lot of things from a 19 VPIP player. What is there? I'm going to be calling this hand. I'm not in love with the spot at all though, because this player looks to be on like the nitty end. Okay, my HUD just isn't working. It just isn't working. I do think there's some like merges here, like pocket pair plus something, and we can get a bit greedy here. They can also just have a flush and just not be able to fold a flush because they don't understand relative hand strength. So I think even though it's very clear here that we have an ace or a boat, a ton, and it's not so clear what our bluffs could be, maybe like queen jack with a spade, we still just get a bit greedy in that spot because a recreational broken stack small blind flat caller can just not understand anything about absolute versus relative hand strength. So yeah. Okay, king jack here against small blind. I'm going to be playing, again, loads of checks on the flop. Loads of navigating later streets today. That's the style. Some small c-bets. If I was playing yesterday as the warrior, I would be c-betting small here every time. It's a high aggression, playing lots of turn barrel and river barrel node strategy. But here I'm going to be playing a lot more on the back foot, a lot more as the reactor to bets. The weasel wants to get a really good feel of which opponents are underbluffing, overbluffing, and make accurate folds and calls on the receiving end of aggression. A lot of people don't like being on the receiving end of aggression, which is fair enough, but if you play this style, you will be a bit more often. Gonna go for check call on flop here. Check raise is not unreasonable, by the way. It's very close in this spot. And I am going to bet flop here. This hand, playing a lot of check in general. Going to check turn on this particular card. Probably folding river with this 2-pair over here. And I will play the B10 sort of bet here. Looking to get called by random merges from flop. An 8 that's hit river. Pocket pair, worse jack. That sort of thing. I think pretty easy fold on this run out. It's a very difficult one to bluff enough on. Villain is absolutely swimming in value combinations here. And 10-6 is a bluff catcher. So never care about the fact you have 2-pair. If you're playing weasel, if this is the style for you, you need to be comfortable on the facing end of aggression. If you're not, the weasel maybe isn't the style for you, or you need to get comfortable with that. Yeah, that horrible sound. Mathemagical, huh? I've had to mute my system sound just so I don't need to listen to it. It was pretty horrific. With every style, there comes a benefit of playing it, even if it doesn't end up being your final style or you don't want to build your game in that way. It teaches you a certain skill. 7s here, very break-even spot. I'm just staying away from it mostly as the weasel here. The spot with King 7 I maybe should have stayed away from as well, but this could be a recreational type weaker player, type player. You could go either way. You could fold pre there as well, equally. But yeah, we are just bypassing a lot of the 0 EV spots where you pay rake and put money into the pot. There's no shame in that. It's a very valid strategy at low stakes because you get to play more of the good spots. I'm going to play min here in small blind. Hand is super indifferent. Don't know the opponent. Going to fold. So POW says, if Menace is redliner and Weasel is blue liner, Menace and Warrior are both more redline styles, for sure. Polar Bear is more of a flatter redline style, but it's probably losing redline, like winning blue line, but not by that much. It's more like flatter, whereas Weasel is like predominantly blue line. All blue line, losing redline. So in the style of the Weasel, I'm going to flat this 3-bet. You can go either way. I'm going to be calling, showcasing this style today. It's not a mistake to call this hand. Villain checks on Queen 10-8. And the question is, how good a job are they going to do against the small bet strategy? I'm quite happy to bet fold this hand. It's not a disaster. They check call. What they're going to have? They're going to have ace king, aces, kings, jacks, queen jack, hands like this. Has fold equity on the turn on this card against this range. Not fantastic. How's showdown value? It's actually something if they miss some of the river bluffs here. How's fold equity on the river in this spot? Weasel's not adverse to bluffing, by the way, if it's a good spot for it. But this is a spot where I think we're going to get called very frequently by a queen, by jacks, by that sort of thing. So I'm actually not going to take this spot as a bluff. That hand might fold. It might not. The small ball again, ace king here. Generally, there's a flag tail there as well. It's not usually the sort of opponent you want to go bet, check, bet, bluff against. Call and raise are both fine in this spot. I'm going to call. I'm going to start out like pure weaseling here. But I think this is good anyway, to be honest. Block an ace, which means villain is going to be a bit more towards pocket pairs that could value bet. I think the spot's going to be very underbluffed. I think we do just have to bet here. There's a lot of combos of queens, tens, nines, flushes, etc. here that may well check back. I don't think a flush should check back for what it's worth, but it might. But the heart of villain's range after that timing on turn is not a flush, it's jacks or tens. So betting river there is pretty mandatory. Not a spot you can go for a trap or ever want to go for a trap, because the more merge your opponent's range gets, the more you just want to bet. In that last hand with the ace king, I think on the 10 turn, the opponent's not going to donk bet, even though they maybe should. 9-8 off plays very badly. Multi-way, 9s again, break even hand, just going to avoid the spot. Weasel style, blue lining. Yep, silver pass will get you on the Discord, guys. Gold pass will also get you on the Discord. Gold pass will get you full Carrot Poker School and the database review if you get it in the Easter sale, as well as golden library access forever, all of our other courses, the full thing, basically. So this style means that you have to keep your ego in check, because you have to be able to face bets objectively. You're putting yourself on the receiving end of a lot of aggression. Look at that snap fold there in the big blind. That's why min open can be pretty good in this pool. Don't know this player, and I am just going to use the small ball sizing. Normally I'd go like 5x here. This is more of a small ball size. Let's start with flop check. We're just checking flop a lot, navigating later streets with this style. And putting ourselves on the receiving end of bets. This one, I expect to be a bit merged. I expect to have the best hand here against whatever villain perceives to be value at some frequency, but usually not. But it's a very good catcher with pristine redraw. The question now is, do we want to turn our hand into a bluff against this snap check? I think we have a little bit too much showdown against like things like second pair, the lead turn. It's interesting though. Same hand, okay. It's an interesting idea to bluff river there after that snap check and just say how often you're calling, but I do think there's some like crying two pair, like check calling river and stuff like that. I think check is better. Okay, interesting turn card. How merged is villain here? I think they're pretty merged. And Weasel is going to go ahead and bet half pot. It's a value bet against the queen, an ace, pocket pair plus spade, that kind of thing. I think it's an important spot to rush value and make sure we bet against that condensed range. It's very unlikely to bluff on that high 3 flush texture if we check. You got to know the pool exploitatively when you're playing Weasel as well. Like what spots are overbluffed, what spots are underbluffed. If you check, where are they going to reopen a lot? Where are they going to just be passive? I'll stress this again. You need to be good at facing bets. You need to learn to be good at facing bets if you're playing the strategy. You want to study facing aggression a lot when you play the strategy. Still opening button wide, not caring about that. It's just a money flows to me spot. Gonna be defending sixes though. I think this one is marginally plus EV, so we will take it. Small balling flop here. You can play min raise, by the way, here on flop. It's an okay way to play. It's not really a thing on the paired board in theory, but the way people play the spot is fine. I am going to call though. And just because you're the Weasel, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to be really nitty against aggression. You're still going to try and identify overbluff spots and take advantage. Villain checks turn, their range is going to be some overpair here, for sure, because it's like a paired board. Some give up, some ace king, etc. Sixes, I think, is just a bit too middle to want to bet. I expect this river to be pretty underbluffed. I'd be somewhat surprised if this spot was bluffed. Yeah. The question is now, how often does villain have a hand like 8s, 9s, compared with how often they have ace high? And do we want to make a very greedy, very, very greedy reopen for a small sizing? I don't think we do. If I had 9s, I think I would. I think there's enough stuff there that we beat. I think it's around 8s or 9s I would start reopening. I think 6 is just a little bit too greedy. This has to get through almost never. I think it'll get through a bit more than that. You can go for a lot of different sizes on river here. All are fine. Or you can give up. Give up is a very normal thing to do as well. But when villain's under the gun here, their folding range is mostly like 8s, 6s, 5s, 4s, etc. So having the queen here is probably a card when they're under the gun that blocks more of their calls than their folds. If they're button, it's going to block like queen 7 suited and stuff like that they're folding. So positionally sensitive spot. But I'm inclined to think that a lot of our value bets there are just blocks with a jack or a weak ace or something like that. We're going to play a lot of block there with second pairs, things like this. So one big blind bluff is sometimes going to be a thing. You can bluff bigger, of course, as well. We can give up. Got a 3-bet against a recreational looking player with king queen regardless, but using like a smallish small ball 3-bet style today, as you can see. We didn't miss the 4-bet, we just chose to call, so the hand can go either way. In theory, it's actually not an EV loss to just call that hand, it's not a mandatory 4-bet. And we chose to call based on the style we're playing today. People think that because like the default play with Ace King is the 4-bet and it's the highest frequency play in the solver and it's what almost everyone doesn't practice, that it's the only option. It's definitely not the only option. And the better you, I want to stress this, like the better you get at the ensuing branches of the game tree, the more you want to play that style. Like if you get really good at facing bets, you want to check more flops. If you get really good at barreling turns, you want to 1/3 more flops. Play to your strengths. Very easy check call. Villain's going to be betting range here. I'd expect this turn spot gets bluffed a lot. Yeah, snap timing as well. I'm going to call again because I think against this player type, this is an overbluff spot, and I won't be too shy about calling river here as well. This river, I do think is going to get overly given up though. I don't expect to get bluffed in this river too often. I do expect villain to overbluff turn. So this is what I'm saying. You just get good at knowing where to call and where to fold. And when it's button versus big blind and he insta-bets turn, it's very likely just a default bluff with any two there. I would be surprised actually if there was any consideration rolling strategy control there. And maybe there shouldn't be. Like it's a really winning bluff he's making against pool, but I need to know that as weasel. I need to be on the right end of that, i.e. always calling my good ace high bluff catcher with good redraw, always. So if you were folding the turn there, as the weasel, you're playing the weasel strategy really badly against a reg in this pool. Something to be super aware of. Playing a ton of checks, receiving bets, figuring out what to do. Weasel has very protected checking ranges. They're never going to be under protecting their checking range. They're always going to be able to handle aggression at a certain frequency because they've got those hands. Hi Pete and audience, I'm just a rec player at the moment, but I would say Weasel is closest to my strat. Loving the mask, thank you. This mask is actually not too unpleasant to wear either. This is a mandatory bet, going to use half pot as my reopen sizing here mostly. And I will value bet river of course as well on this card. Snap check call here is going to be a 6, a 3, a deuce, pocket 8, it's a bad queen, that kind of thing. The bigger bet that the weasel uses is slight overbet. I'm not going to do that today though. I'm going to use more of the B66 sizing. I guess this one's a bit more than that. And villain calls with 9s. 9-6, close enough. So you play a lot of delayed c-bet node, double barrel, after delayed c-bet, and double delayed c-bet when you're in position as weasel. You want to focus on the turn. You want to do node work. You want to focus particularly on the grades of the Carrot Poker School, the lectures that deal with the nodes you're going to be in the most often. So if you're playing weasel, you definitely want to get very, very good at Carrot Poker School Grade 2 Lectures 7 and 8 on bluff catching, as well as some of the exploitative content we do on that. I'm going to call here, see what transpires. Straight transpires. That's nice. I am going to raise. I think there's too much stuff against this recreational we can get called by, and I don't think there's enough merit to slow playing this spot. Of course, we're all in. The weasel only bets third pot here, guys. Just kidding. Weasel goes all in. But he small balls the slider down to like that. He's the weasel. Play some small blind flats. That's another thing you'll see me do. Cold calling a lot if you're the weasel and you like small ball. Study the cold call ranges pre. Figure out how regs play cold call pots badly. Because they really do, by the way. They play them really quite badly. And build a strategy. I'm going to check raise the flop here because I don't think this player will react enough to the fact that I'm small blind and not big blind and just have a way more condensed range. And I have a premium bluff, so it's not that weasel never aggresses. We do aggress. And I would absolutely check raise the flop in that spot. I'd be going slight overbet check here. The biggest size in my toolkit as weasel is slight overbet, and that's what I'd be using in a spot like this. Easy call against half pot. Imagine this spot's overbluffed. Villain really needs an ace here to have a hand that beats me. Or kings. Or king queen. Are they going to value bet king queen? When they overbet, I think this is likely overbluffed. Do I think this is overbluffed? I mean, it's a bit weird that they didn't just see bet flop. It is a bit weird. I'm gonna call. I don't love this. But with the double blocker to like the unpaired card, this hand is just pretty good to bluff catch with, as non-ace goes. It's a bit greedy from the opponent there, but I can see why they did it. That might have been a fold. That spot's weird because on the one hand, if they're reacting properly to me being small blind and they're checking that flop a lot and they're like giving up stuff, that's going to be really overbluffed. But then I do wonder actually if they're just really showdown driven. I think I should have folded actually. I think they're too showdown driven. I don't think they react enough to the fact I'm small blind. Yes, it's an okay catcher when you have like the 3-pair because you just unblock a lot more bluffs and block more value, more bolts and stuff. But honestly, I think it's probably a fold because I don't think they react enough to the fact I'm small blind on flop, and I think they're just checking too showdown driven, which means they have too much king 10, too much queens, too much jacks, even though I block those heavily. They're still going to have it sometimes, and then too much a6, most importantly. So this is a good cold call spot. So that was a misstep. That's my first misstep of the day. I don't actually like that. Now I think about how pool plays. I don't like that call. Let's focus a bit more, not make any more of these silly calls. I do this sometimes. Let's be accurate facing aggression. Come on. This spot is very juicy to start betting with. I think I should go half pot here, actually, like build around half pot, like slightly bigger sizing. So I am just a bit more polar here. Guess I'm small balling, but I think this is still a spot for a bit of a bigger bet. In this spot here, like, yes, we got cold called, but our range is just so strong on Queen Jack 10 that I like building this. I'm going to peel here with the backdoors and the gutter and the implied odds. Expect this range to be pretty strong in pool here when they check raise. As under the gun against the cold caller. What are they doing in this spot? I'm going to bet this hand. I think they usually just have like check folding gutter at that point. I don't actually think there's much else in their range for that line and timing. Hand's a pretty easy bet anyway. IP, what's a weasel? Just arrived. It's basically a strategy where you play a lot of check on flop. You do a lot of small balling. You try and avoid rake a bit. It's an anti-rake strategy. You do a bit more blue lining. And you try and pick and choose your spots and you become really good at facing aggression and reacting to it. That's the point of the weasel. I actually don't expect to be attacked too much in this spot. I think this is a fold. Yeah, I did not mean that. That was a misclick. This might induce. It didn't work. I should just go half pot and do that over 2 streets. That's actually a really annoying, costly misclick. Has that really ruined this situation for me now? With that timing, I think they have almost nothing here, though. Oh, we got a clean run out. Okay, this hand plays itself. It doesn't really need much commentary. Checking here. Somehow got away with that flop misclick, guys. We'll take it. We're not complaining. It's a recreational player, so we're getting a bit greedy here. Just always reopening this hand on turn. You need to know when to start value betting as well. You can only check up until a point, and you have to respect the investment ceiling of your hand and know when it's time to just start putting money into the pot with it. That was a really bad call, actually, I made against that line. Now I think about it, like check back flop and then overbet river there. It's just not a line Regs are bluffing with ever in that spot. It was a pretty bad play. Pretty bad play by me. I like to own my mistakes, though. That was an F game play, guys. I'm not going to lie. That was F game. Get out of our system early. No more. No, pool definitely doesn't react well to small 3-bets. Trippy Hop, that is correct. So doing a lot of checking, some betting on flop. A lot of checking, a lot of playing turns. Keeping pots low. Less rake is better. Did Daniel not say that? Less rake is better? Pretty sure he did. Can be 50 this hand on turn. Can check. Easy river value bet. The most vulnerable of hands here definitely want to be value betting / denial betting turn. We lose a lot here on river, unfortunately, after that timing. Yep. Yep. And why not be rabbit hunting during Easter? That's what we're doing. Weasels eat rabbits, right? Pretty sure weasels eat rabbits, do they not? They're carnivores. Rabbits are prey. I think we're rabbit hunting. Streaming. Certainly folding this with fives. I know not the style you're trying to play, but think big boy bluffing that spot would print. What spot are we talking about? I'm on a bit of a delay, so I may have forgotten the hand. Nothing's coming to mind when you say that, so let me know. And by the way, if a spot is printing as a bluff, even the weasel should find it. If it's printing. Left table, easy check fold against big bet. Right table, villain goes for pot. I think my hand's a pure call. It's a bit close on this board against pot, but I think it is a pure call. The only issue with calling flop there, I'm not saying it makes it negative, but it makes it worse, is that the real life opponent who pots flop very often just pots turn as well. Just bets turn. And your realizability is a lot lower. So you can maybe exploit full flop there with that hand, even with ace clubs. Small blind button, I'm still playing mostly 3-bet rather than cold call, but cold calling a lot as weasel from other positions. Jack 9 of clubs. You got to 3-bet this one, guys. Carrot man hand. This player looks really tight and polarized enough that raising river, it's okay. Like, they could have a queen, they could bet call. If they're a looser looking player, I'm definitely raising river there. And check Jack 9 of clubs on that turn and bet with things like Queen Jack. Even Jack 10 is a lot better for having more overcards to the medium pocket pair region. Like King Queen is a lot better for that reason as well. And after they call half pot, I think turn is underfolded on that texture because not enough changed and flop is overfolded to that sizing. So checking turn with Jack 9 of clubs is good. Oh, the Queen Jack spot, like raising river, you mean? It is interesting. With those blockers, it's a very, yeah, I can see what you mean. So it is a very good hand for the job. Could be good. Yep. And we should still seek. Yes, it's not our style to bluff in that spot, but if the blockers are really pristine and we're really confident it's a great spot, then we can. I'm always a little bit nauseous against overbets, unless it's a good reg that can be overbetting thinly for value, because they tend to be like very polar and quite nutted sometimes. But yeah, I think fold. I think call is the worst option there for sure. Like, it's definitely the worst option. So see if we can beat the 3.5 buy-in profit that we made yesterday. Turn my heating off, actually. It's getting pretty boiling in here. Donkey, here's the thing, if you're playing that style, if you're playing that as part of your strategy. We're playing a lot of 1/3 in this spot. Just building the small size. Give up this river. Don't think it's a particularly great bluff spot. Block ace jack and ace 10. Which is not the cards we want to have there, in theory at least. In practice, it could be okay. They're probably not calling enough king queen on turn. Probably a bit too much low pair, maybe not hand reading. 3x probe, standard stuff. That spot. If a student uses the weasel style, I guess the inaccuracies call will feel more prominent. Yes and no. Like, generally, there'll be less of them. So from that standpoint, they won't be like the weasel should be good at facing aggression. Not like I was in that hand. It was definitely not a call. But because of that, they make less of these blunderous calls generally. When they do make them, it's maybe more noticeable. If you did play the weasel and you were really bad at facing aggression, that would be terrible, yeah. This mask is actually quite uncomfortable. Not in the same way that the helmet was, but it's like quite suffocating in a way. I have to wear it up here, guys. Yeah, that's so much better. I feel like I can think again. It's not quite as exciting style as yesterday. We're certainly not getting involved in as many big pots. You can see how many of these single raised small ball pots we're playing in and just trying to be accurate in them. To be honest, I would never choose this style for me. Like, I don't really like it. It's okay if you just want to... Queen 8's close with a fish in the small blind, so maybe an open, but whatever. It's okay if you just want to, like, chill. I don't mind it for, like, chilling on stream and just drinking my coffee and talking to you guys, but generally playing this style for me, I don't think I could do it long term. This is probably the last one I would pick of all of them. It's definitely right for some people, though, to build this sort of game plan. If your mental game is like very shaky as well while you're still strengthening it, this is a decent way to go. I've seen players try to play like the warrior who are just not built for it. They're just not cut out for that, and it inevitably goes pretty wrong. End up bluffing indiscriminately in random spots. which is not what you want to do. I'd expect when I min open the small blind, by the way, that I'll get 3-bet a lot more, because there's a thing in MDA where people who min open the small blind are, on average, what we want to do here, just bet this time, on average bluffing, stealing more, folding to 3-bets more, so it's a bit of an MDA hotspot. Villain is very merged in this spot, very unlikely to bluff enough if check to. My hand is an okay check, but I think mostly bet in theory anyway. And that's what we'll do. Just using this sizing in this spot. If you think about their range there, right? They're very prone to having a high equity draw, like a flush draw, or pair. And while they will call most of those hands to a bet, especially because the pairs have redraw and stuff, or their top pair, they will not necessarily bet with that many of them. And to be bluffing, not only do they need to bet that gutter, but they need to find a bunch of stuff. And it's just way less likely that that spot is invested by people bluffing, by people calling. Unless it's an aggressive reg. Then the exploit is check call, check call. But it's just much worse. That line of check call, like just start bluff catching, is just not great on wet, messy boards that are hard to miss. If you see bet aces on like 6 deuce deuce, it's a great turn check call spot, because villain is drowning in air and they can lose control so easily. So easily. Forrest, I'm some recreational player in a small blind here. I probably shouldn't play this hand as weasel, but oh well. Start with check call against most sizes, check fold against big size. Against that size, we're somewhat close. I'm going to fold because of the unnuttedness of my outs, the future aggression, the fact that it's hard for villain to have nothing, and the sizing. I think that makes that fold. I want to be super accurate with this stuff from now on, not make any more complacent calls. This one is too good not to 3-bet, of course. I was going 9 yesterday in this spot. This warrior, I was going more polar. I'm going a bit more small ball today. Both are okay. Not a turn lead spot. I think check is a bit better than bet there. It's a bit too greedy on that run out, even at one big blind. The recreational 43 pip in the big blind, I think it is worth taking the spot. These break-even opens are just very table dependent. I say break-even in theory. This one as well, with the big blind being 30 V pip recreational, I think it's worth taking it. We will fold to a pot-sized donk bet. And we will pass on this break-even spot. 3-bet's a bit big as well. You can actually 4-table this style. The other advantage of this style is that you can play... It's a rake back sort of leaderboard grinder style as well, right? We can play way more tables. You can hit leaderboards with it. You can, you know, capitalize on that whole side of the modern game if you want to. I keep muting myself because I'm just like really congested today. I feel like I felt great yesterday. I went for a run. Felt super healthy, and then like since last night I've just felt this coming on. Anyone else with young kids will know it is like impossible to stay healthy for long. It's impossible. Just accept it as like par for the course. I need to get that Friday feeling, guys. I need to get that energized Friday feeling. I had a crap night's sleep last night as well. Oh, you know that way where you just had a shit night's sleep and like everything is just like sluggish. I never knew what that was like until I had a kid, and now I'm like, yeah, it's one of those days again, isn't it? Okay, this will just be a bit harder than normal. Yep. So yeah, very card dead. Like, it's not normally this boring playing the weasel. Usually have a bit more going on than this. .84 VPIP. Shu was on this morning. She kept going on about my VPIP is 13. Trying to explain to her that that's just your session VPIP, and other people are seeing something else. If you're playing like the Warrior yesterday, you probably don't have that on many huts. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Going for this like semi-polar strategy as I'm doing a bit of checking on flop. It's good to be able to hit people with well-timed aggression as the weasel as well. We're betting like queens, kings, queen X, sorry, kings, aces, etc. here. We go for the king jack this time. Your dregs will be less inclined to bluff catch you when you're under the gun as well. So bear that in mind if you are battling a good reg who understands MDA, who's taken grade E of the Carrot Poker School or something like that. They're going to know what's going on there, and they're way less likely to bluff catch you when your starting range is tight and more likely when your starting range is wide. It's one of the fundamental principles of grade E. I'm going to check in weasel style here instead of range betting this board small, which I could do, but honestly it's not a great strategy when there's this much transparency and connectivity. See what my opponents are going to do here, because they're going to tell me a ton about ranges and I can get out of the way here. I don't need to get magnetized at this ace queen. They both check again. What are their ranges? How often do they have 2-pair plus? Not often at all. I think I'll get check raised here hardly ever as well. And there are plenty of intermediate-ish hands that can call. This is a thin turn bet, but the fold equity is actually quite valuable, because if one player has, you know, 5s and the other one has 6s, that's 4 outs up against me instead of 2. So the fold equity there, not that it's amazing, but it does matter. That was a very weaselly hand, right? Because we just checked the flop in a spot where you could bet small and put money in blind, but the weasel's just more cagey than that. The weasel's like, nah, I don't want to invest yet. I want to check, see what happens, see what the turn is, see what you do, and then I'll pick a more accurate line. It's all about delaying stuff until you've got a better idea of what's going on. You've got more accuracy. Like here against this recreational, we could raise the flop, right? But we're going to check, see what turn is, see what they do. Figure it out. Not much to figure out on this card in that action. Put on energizing music. But if I do that, okay, I need to like actually mute my mixer. You're right, I do need some music. It's a little flat, isn't it? I'm a bit tired. Let me do that. But I need to like figure out how to mute. GG. Because I can't stop it from doing that annoying ticking time bomb shit that it does. The check flop, play the later streets here against this recreational. 50 VPIP. Probably going to be doing a lot of random stuff. Quick check. I'll get a bit greedy against that with some nut redraw and top pair thick value. You had a splendid Dreamian featuring RuneScape, Hufflepuff, and Sainsbury's. I swear I dreamt about Sainsbury's the other night as well. That's so weird. You think we just dream about like thousands of things a night, and then when someone mentions it, you're like, oh yeah, I totally dreamt about that. Right. Someone tell me how to do this. How do I get this mixer thing up? I'm such a boomer, guys. Sorry, I'm such a boomer. There it is. GG poker. Muted. Everything else on. Right. Now we can get some music. Make sure it's not playing on OBS though, because we don't want to get stricken down by YouTube. But house, I'm really into house at the moment. Let's get a bit of house music on to go. Okay, we're good. I feel better already. I'm energized. Zen Madman, who's a sensei on our Discord and a crusher, was saying the other day that like he listens to, I think it was him, he was saying he listens to like metal when he needs energized. Like if he's really flat, he'll put on like some really loud metal, and if he's got too much energy, he'll put on something like really calming. So like, this idea of adjusting your music to your mood to try and find the right balance. Oh no. For some reason the desktop audio was on. So it's going to copyright the stream, and I don't know what that means. It'll show it to less people probably on YouTube. Oh well. Done now. There's so many like bits and bobs to streaming sometimes, it's super annoying. There's so many little things you have to be aware of that you can just screw up. And then your computer can screw you over, and then like, it's so annoying sometimes streaming. Mad respect to anyone that like streams for a living, because it's super tilting. You play like range check on this board? It doesn't have a lot of air here, so I'm going to double delay because I think this is quite a good transparency spot actually. I'm going to bluff river here against 9s, 8s, 5s, 4s, 10s, all that stuff. Use small overbet. I'll use small overbet. I'm going to fold here. The 3-bet pot, there's just not, there's a lot of combos like 9s playing that way and not that many low showdown value broadways that don't bluff turn. There's some, but very few. They're only like suited. So under bluffed and overfolded and mandatory bluff spot in theory anyway. So small pot accuracy, weasel, let's go. Small 3-bet pot accuracy, guys. This is what it's all about. It's all about this. The music's helping, for sure. I should fold this actually against 27. What am I doing? I'm gonna get 3-bet here. Watch this. No. No. Yeah, it's easy to lower your level of play for sure, Nurgle Pete. When your card dead. Absolutely. Look at this slight overbet by the weasel with the jack-8 here. Because ranges are wide, this is just absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Can be pretty greedy there if you've not bet already. So that's my big sizing, is slight overbet for today. Yeah, you weren't meant to hear the music. That was a glitch in the system. This one is winning, so we're going to take it. Who is this player? Actually going to just take a quick look at the pool here. I mean, when they check it, makes it a bit easier. Okay, doesn't really matter who they are now. But it's good to know how many tables your opponent's playing in that situation. Because if they're recreational, it just changes things massively. Always like scour the lobby. I don't do this before I play because, frankly, I don't really care about the edge from out the money. But if you are grinding a zoom pool, a fast fold pool, tag the players by table at the start. If you play the same time of day, it'll be similar people on each day. You won't have to tag them multiple times. And if you find a one tabler and you know that going into a hand where another reg wouldn't know that, you just have an edge in that spot, right? Duplicated, you just have an edge. If the other reg's in that spot, they just don't know who the opponent is, they don't adjust as well. Yeah, I mean, I do have royalty-free music thing that we use for videos. I could use that for streaming as well. The music's just a bit shit, generally. Unless there's a way of getting good music, let me know. I'm releasing yesterday's stream as a highlight reel over the weekend. I've got the editor working on that. A recreational player here. Going to be going check call. Probably donk turn if we get there, actually. Because it's so underinvested on the flush card. Probably donk turn and river if this is a diamond, yeah. They're very bad at folding this node, but they're also very bad at betting this node. Should have gone smaller as the weasel in this spot. And I honestly checked raising turn with that hand. It's not so great anyway. So it's just a really nice, clean investment for that style of hand anyway. Let's check the flop here with this hand. Weasel style. Like half pot check in this spot. The spot can get, I mean, a villain's like an MDA reg this and get very attacked because I'm perceived to be so capped here. And if they're a net reg, then they'll just play like a net. And then it'll be blood from a stone. We are going to bet turn though. They're going to check call loads of combos in 9s, 10s, 7s, stuff like this. I don't care that GTO slow plays the spot sometimes. I'm not slow playing the spot. There's too much stuff to get called by. We'll take the spot. It's not fantastic. They have a 7, they have a set in 9s here pretty frequently. I think we'll go for slight overbet. That's our big size in our toolkit today. They have some hands that are quite good here in terms of absolute value that can call. They have a flush almost never. They have 7s, they have 9s, they have 6s. They're going to have stuff like this. They might even look us up at like 4s with the club blocker here and weird stuff like that sometimes. Check out flop here multi-way with Queen Jack. Jacks with a club, yeah, stuff like that. The fold to 2x spot here, I think, with this hand, it's not really much recourse. We do beat some bluffs, but with no heart, I don't think we can call this sizing. We call a big bet here. We can't call 2x spot, unfortunately. Weaseling, guys. Blue lining. Weasel strat. Getting more in the zone. It takes me a while to get warmed up at the start of a session. This guy's punching me. Oh no. Let's do some more small balling in response. You want to punch me? That's fine. I'll just small ball. I'll just weasel. That's alright. Weasel gonna weasel. Open the buttons though. Should have taken some time there. Like Shu does. She's like, I'm thinking about whether to raise my set. It's like, it's not all about deception, Shu. Poker is not just a game of deception. You just have to call these spots. If it's a reg, they'll actually underbluff for this line. Possibly. If it's a recreational, it's just anything. That's why you never fold. If it's a good reg, they know that line is so full of shit, you won't actually see them bluff for that line very often anymore. I feel like that meta's shifted. We are deep here with 8s. We are going to take this spot, use position, navigate. I think we can make this one winning pretty comfortably. Not on that board, we can't. I'm going to put on my favorite house song at the moment, which is like embarrassing. It's an embarrassing song to like, but I like it. It's like the kind of song that like a teenage girl would listen to, but I like it. So there. Could be recreational. It's 3-bet. 3-betting anyway, let's face it. Oh, it's not a recreational, I guess. Come on! I'm the weasel! Scared of the weasel? To be fair, I'd be scared if the weasel 3-betted too. Yeah, sometimes my streams just start kind of low energy and I get into the vibe, guys. Thanks for bearing with me this morning. Easter party. It's the weekend. Come on, let's get some of these vibes. It is the weekend. Let's cold call a spot. Let's cold call a spot, show you this strat in action. Hopefully we get a little look-see here with the 7-6 off as well. So this terrible for our hand, but very good for our range. Just worth bearing that in mind. That's not sufficient reason to just lose your shit immediately, but just bear that in mind, guys. Complete the 6-7. Let's check this particular combo. This is a weird spot. I'm going to start with check here. I think fold equity is pretty low on this board in a limp splash pot. And just a mining approach is probably quite good here. Pete, my friend in Melbourne, is your doppelganger. You might be long lost brothers. I feel like I've got a lot of doppelgangers, actually. This will get through quite a bit. What do you have? A bunch of draws. I think I will bluff over here. There's like a load of draws. Some ace-x calling one. If you have a 3, I feel like you just raise. Oh, I just clicked the... Misclicked bet. I meant to go bigger. I bet third pot. Do you know what? That's not actually horrible for that spot. It's actually not horrible. But that was a misclick. Now I see the weasel in action. It's better than I imagined. Yeah, man. Just ducking and weaving. Value-oriented strategy. No stress, no strains. No stems, no sticks. Is GG much better than PokerStars? In what sense? There are pros and cons to all of these sites, guys. There are pros and cons. Who's the type of player you're playing right now? Fake here. This is the weasel. Not weasel, but the weasel. Why did I choose weasel? I should have said the rodent, or would that put you off? I was asking people earlier, if I was to run like intensive camps for the player type, like warrior week, 20 hours, you're in a group of 10, and we all meet up for like 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and we just blast out a toolkit. We play, sit in, sit out, you sweat each other, we work, we do a load of group work, we do node work in Solver, we plan all your sizes, we practice it in action, we build the warrior, we build the weasel. Like, if you wanted to learn the weasel strategy, would you come to Weasel Week? Would you pay a bunch of money to attend that workshop? Would you take time off work to do it? Like, is that the kind of thing that would appeal to you? So I'm thinking about, like, now I'm moving away from one-to-one coaching because frankly, I just need a rest from it. I've done it for too many years and I'm kind of retiring now. I'm wondering, like, what kind of fun interactive work I could do that would be lucrative. And I'm wondering about, like, these group workshops. I don't know how far to take the player type thing, man. Like, I really like it and I think it's really popular. And it's gone down pretty well, but I don't know, like, is this something you would actually want to do seriously? Because I think it's a serious thing, because it basically makes the game tree more simplified, personalized, and it trims it down because you just go down the same beaten tracks and roads that you've studied and learned. And I think it's a great way to approach the game, actually. It's a bit serendipitous, like, me coming up with this idea, but, like, masks and jokes and Easter stream aside, I do think it's, like, a great thing to do. So that's my question to you. How interested would you be in something like that, like Warrior Week, Weasel Week, Polar Bear Week? If it was you and 9 others in a group call, 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, tight-knit group, me constantly playing poker, rotating who's playing, talking about it, you know, working through solvers and game plans and quizzes and trainer drills. Would you like that? Would you pay a decent amount of money for it? Because it would have to be it wouldn't be the cheapest product in the world. Clanty 3-bet style. Weasel borrows elements of the bully. Clanty style is the bully. I've done a lot of bullying in my lifetime. Maybe that's another strategy, by the way. The bully. Imagine you went on stream and you were like, I'm playing as the bully today. I don't think anyone would ever fold to you. I should go on stream and just say I'm playing as the bully and then play like the weasel. Print, right? I think that's an angle shoot, though. Is that an angle shoot? I think it is. 200 big blinds deep with everyone, and we make the nut straight on 876. So what's not to like? Gonna fold sixes here. Don't care. Weasel. Can't be bothered with that spot. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about that spot. This hand is such a pure one to bet. I'm going to put it in my betting range this time. Weasel does some betting. Not always checking flop. I went to school with one of Pete's doppelgangers. I swear to God, I have a ton of doppelgangers. A lot of them. A lot of them, guys. So many people look like me. It's weird. I feel like I'm like a sort of recipe that was released around the time I was born. And there was just like loads of it sprinkled into the population. I'm just one iteration of it. Honestly, feel like I've got a load of dot. I think I'm quite distinctive looking. So when you see another person that looks like me, you're more likely to notice it. Maybe that's it. If you just look really generic. Like if you look like that blob of muck, like no one would really notice your doppelgangers, you know? I get what you mean, Simon, about Stars having a resurgence. That would be nice too. Stars software feels so ridiculously bad now. I used to love it. It didn't age well. I wouldn't pay because I assume the price would be ridiculous. Define ridiculous then, Lewis. Let's talk about it. Remember, this is a week, 5 hours a day. You're talking about like 25 hours of group work. That's a lot. So you define ridiculous. Let's be businessmen. Let's talk about this together like adults. What would be too much in your mind? Just avoiding that spot. I can mine that spot. I'm just avoiding it, honestly. Your Twitch title is out of date. Did I updated that? That's so irritating that it's like decided to revert it. What is the Twitch title? I'm not folding the spot to delayed aggression. What is the Twitch title? How's that happened? I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to fix it, guys. I swear I changed it. No, it's not. It says Carrot Corner Easter Party Day 2. How's that out of date? What are you talking about, man? This is day 2. Day 2 was yesterday. Day 1 was yesterday. We'll take the spot. Just about. Just barely. Can we make flop call profitable against that sizing? I think so. Against this player. Broken stack. Probably not going to barrel all the stuff they need to barrel on turn. I'll probably over-realize against ace queen and stuff here. I have a heart. Some backdoors. I think it's an easy flop call at that price. Bluffing river here is like it's a thought. It is a thought, actually. Should have given it more thought. No need this time, but should have given it a bit more thought. I mean, clearly the hand is showing down for quite a bit, but it's very near bottom of range, actually. And it's a very overfolded spot, so I should have thought about slight overbet there. Using the weasel overbet size. Should have thought about it. Should have probably done it. Yeah, I think I should have. I just missed the trick there, guys. Come on, weasel. Wake up, man. This is too rich for my weasel blood. Too rich for my weasel blood. The strategy is like such a grind of a strategy. Like, okay, it's kind of fun actually. It's kind of relaxing. I feel like I'm just meditating right now. I'm just like chilling out in a sun lounger or something playing poker right now with this style. It's very, very low maintenance style in that like once you're good at facing aggression, you just do that over and over again, and you still value bet this spot. You don't check this spot against a recreational, right? Not a spot you check. Hope you're all having a nice Easter. I will be away tomorrow and Sunday. I won't be streaming because weekends are sacred to me. They are my days off. The Twitch title is Shu adopts a polar style. No, it's not. That's so weird that it's showing us that for you. It's not for me. Like on Twitch, it actually says the Carrot Corner Easter Party. What do you guys think? Agree? Disagree? Who's being trolled by the Matrix here? Let me know. Who's being trolled? I'm gonna take this spot against recreational broken stack. Let's go. Might not be a recreational, might be a sneaky Brazilian with a broken stack. I'm not talking about someone that looks like you. I'm talking about spot on emotion coming from the eyes, the way you laugh, facial expressions, everything. It's creepy lol. Maybe it is me. Yeah, maybe it's me, mate. Yeah. You said he's from Melbourne, yeah. Maybe it's me, mate. It's not even that good an Aussie accent. Pretty bad, actually. Just getting our stacks up slowly today. Yesterday it was like, get stacked, stack someone, get stacked, stack someone. Today it's just like Weasel just climbing the ladder to success. This would be better if you could hear my music, because I'm climbing and sing. Right, min open, snap fold, snap fold, snap fold. No? Now it's changed. Sure it has, mate. Yeah, sure it has, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Easter Sale is live at Carrot Corner, by the way. Did I mention that? That's kind of why we're here. This one is 80. No, that one is £80 off. That one is over £200 off. And comes with a stat review. Check them out. Full access to everything. Embark forever on a full poker education. Basically a 4-year university degree. It would take you so long to get through all of that. And this is how you get started. This one will take you a few months to get through, probably. Silver and gold. Kapow, snap, min open. This morning she was like, if I do it quickly, are they more likely to fold? Or all she cares about is like deceiving the opponent sometimes. It does my head in, man. Does my head in. Can anyone else tell I was getting a bit frustrated? This is why I don't do so much one-to-one anymore, because I get frustrated at students. Got a lot of time for Shu. Great girl, but sometimes that deceiving villain thing, oh man, it gets me. Grinds my gears. Rubs me up the wrong way, that does. Whenever people depart entirely from EV in their analysis, it rubs me up the wrong way. Playing the half pot check on this board, I'll be checking eights. One of the only pure checks. This is a lot bet on this board, even at half pot under the gun big blind. I block quite a lot of bluffs with this hand and absolutely no value. I'm going to fold this to an overbet. When I'm under the gun, you just can't value bet rivers in these spots against decent regs. They're going to be going for some check raise, and they're just not going to be calling that much worse. Against the fish, you can bet small there in river. No thanks. Weasel my way out of that one. Look at us just climbing up, just getting our stacks up, guys, yeah? Getting our stacks up. Getting our stacks up, up. Done a lot of bullying in my lifetime. I've done a lot of bullying. I call it bullying. Done a lot of bullying in my lifetime. I'm now rapping along to like the beat here, and you guys can't hear the music. Do you remember back in the day when we had actual music? Do you remember back in the day when we streamed on Twitch? Remember back in the day? Do you remember? Do you? Who was an OG fan of the Twitch channel circa 2021? Who was there post-COVID, post-lockdown? Who was there? This is such an awkward spot. I fold. The problem is, the times I shove and this guy has 8s or 9s and just snaps. Oh, that's so grim. That's so grim. That guy has a really big VPIP though, so I probably shouldn't worry about it. There's the deuce though, guys. We would have lost both. Oh, they're running it 3 times, huh? There's another deuce. This guy just hit 2 sets of deuces. Wow. I don't know about that spot. Like, against this guy's range, we're like flipping. We're like a straight flip, or slightly worse, which is enough to get it in, but then it's like, how often does this guy just call fives? And then it's like really embarrassing. I had fives, I'm just shoving all day. Even fours, I think. It's so close to threes there in that spot. So close to threes. I really think so. I could be wrong. I could be misestimating those ranges, but yeah. This is probably a fold. Also, pay no rake in the close spots, right? Weasel. Weasel, man. Let's throw in the odd bluff. Let's throw one in. You gotta do it sometimes. Because people are watching the stream and they're like, he's the weasel, he's got it this time. And with King Queen, I am just going to 3-bet for value and just play a bigger pot against the Pink Tag 27 V Pip. I go smaller as well, so I'm just going like kind of mergey here. Am I right about this player? Is he actually one-tabling? I mean, do I just trust the Pink Tag? I'm going to bet this hand. It's just a bit too good as a bet. You can check raise this hand too if you really want. I like bet though. It's this player type. Okay. I hate the Queen of Clubs here, man. This is an awkward spot because it's really quite low fold equity. But like getting like red fives to fold or something. Sixes. I'm going to go for the sizing. I do always want to bet my hand. Check the King 8. Such a grim card for range. Nines, tens, flushes, I'm drawing dead. I'm just drawing dead too often here. I have to fold. Against the big probe on this texture, we're actually not doing very well. Could have considered folding here. Just had no time to decide. Maybe third pot. I think I like third pot better on the right there. I think I should be only playing third pot check. I don't think I should be like dialing it up like that. I'm gonna fold here, for sure. Does Clancy regret the bullying he did in his lifetime? He doesn't seem to, no. He seems quite proud of it, if anything. I think it's a defining feature of his personality. We'll start getting our money back from Ace King for a living here. Chip by chip, steal by steal, weasel by weasel. What we'll do at the start of Sunday's stream, if I have time to set this up, which I should do, is look at the graphs of the last two streams and look at the red line, blue lines, just for fun. I'm going to call here and here. These players in the blinds are going to take the spot. I hate this hand under the gun, but I think it's winning, this configuration. You see we played our hand very slowly here. Really? We're like so massively underrepresented. This is such a bizarre spot for regs to attack in as well, though. Obviously not going to fold here. There's the red tag as well, which means he's just been randomly aggressive at some point. This one's going to be hard to get away from, guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're folding here for the sizing. This could just be someone getting timid with kings and like, yeah, it's just no way we're getting away from this. Wow. I think you can go bigger on river, right? You can be a bit greedier. It's an unfortunate one against the red tag to run into that. I did have kind of a bad feeling there, like it's a really unusual spot to get attacked. But it's just so unlikely they check twice with a good hand in the first place. Then there's the red tag and there's how weak our line looks, and I don't think there's much we can really do against that opponent. Against the Nithya opponent, we can get away from that, but yeah, I don't think there's much we can do with that one. Insanely good catcher as well. Well, pretty good catcher. Sometimes tags are kind of like, I don't believe them. Like I've assigned them at some point in the past, and I just don't. I don't fully believe them. We'll call this one. Could also fold here actually against the green tag. They might not be finding the polar stuff. Villain could have won a lot more from me there with that hand. Like, how often do I have a 6? That's super rare, right? I mean, it's sometimes, but like, there's so few combos of a 6 there. I feel like you gotta go bigger as villain on river there. It feels like a wasted opportunity. Like, you just absolutely hit the most immortal Jin spot in the world and you want to bet half pot. I don't know, man. I think I'm paying off bigger bets than that there. Just wanted to check with you what you said before. You taking a break or full retiring from one-on-one coaching? I'm retiring for at least the foreseeable future. And possibly just forever, I think is the best way to put it. Is that a weasel impersonation? Do you mean the streamer? We could try that. What's it fucking bluffing? Nah, it doesn't sound like that. What's his accent? Are you fucking bluffing? He gets really angry at the chat, doesn't he, Weasel? That's his main gig. Surprise. Surprise. So this gets called by hands we beat. It gets folds from hands that beat us, like ace jack of spades. And then we can win at showdown sometimes against like the king, queen of diamonds and things like this. 3, 4, stuff like this. So we actually have a decent amount of showdown in this river. We're not going to win against ace 3 though. That is a hybrid, guys. So I want to throw this in because even though we're playing Weasel, sometimes at low frequencies, we're still going to attack people today. I'm not going to play completely predictably. So you might think that's a polarization error. I don't think it is, because when you're facing a bet, your hand's already close to 0 EV to call. It's not like you're just facing a check. It would be a polarization error to lose your mind against a check. It's important to understand the difference there. And if they just have ace jack of spades, they can just fold that spot, right? You might not think so, but people do to understand the game because they just have a bluff catcher in a not very appetizing spot. Because I'm checking back a lot of flops as well, I can be a bit more uncapped in these turn spots. So I guess to some extent, I'm kind of like hedging for the people that are watching the stream and stuff like that. This spot sucks with it for ace jack off. That said, I'll still squeeze. Should go a bit smaller as the Weasel. inclined not to mess with that range that calls. I don't think there's much under pair in that at all after flop is three-way. Could be some ace queen. Other than that, it's going to be like non-folding stuff mostly, I think. A small ball the jacks here, big blind against cutoff. This is totally fine as well. Small ball the tens. You could fold the tens here actually, because you got hand going on the other table. It's just not that great a spot. This is already quite indifferent in these positions. It's a broken stack. I don't think it is. Playing a lot of 1/3 probe today, as you can see. We're going to lose here after they check. There's just no way. There's no way they check quickly with any hand that tens wins against there, I don't think. Apart from exactly nines, maybe. Maybe exactly nines. I think the sizing's about right. Shoving with the king nine. If that's the first thing you think about, you're certainly a warrior. Look at this bluff catch. Nice. We'll take it. Sometimes after people like start checking, they just don't ever fold. It's definitely a sort of player that plays that way. Between the menace and the weasel. What would you call a style between the menace and the weasel? So that would be like more aggression, like a more aggressive weasel that likes to have initiative but still wants to like stay away from bet. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. That's like one of those really annoying, the terrier maybe, like those really annoying yappy dogs, perhaps? Something like that. I'd say halfway between a menace and a weasel is like a yappy dog. Meaning like a dog that's like always like biting at people's ankles and shouting its head off and is scared of everything but wants to act tough. The maniac style session. What we don't want to do is play styles that are just plainly like minus EV. But we could play like the maniac, yeah. Yeah, it's like a warrior, a more crazy warrior. Like the berserker. Let's call it the berserker. Let's not call it the maniac. So if it's a maniac, it's actually just like a plainly like loose aggro losing fish, I think. Let's call it the berserker. But yeah, we could go like warrior on steroids kind of thing. That'd be fun. This weasel style is annoying because it's like when you lose a pot, you're like, how am I gonna get my I like get my stacks up on the stream. You guys know that. That's fun to get the stacks up, right? So how am I gonna get stacks up now? I have to wait around for spots. I've been attacking a little bit here. It's just not really found the spots for it. Finally catch the goat live. Hello, Tragic Panda. Welcome. We're playing as the Weasel today. The Weasel won. We had Warrior last time. Weasel this time. Got him. Doesn't mean never bluffing. It just means like not taking passive lines earlier in the game tree. More checking earlier in the game tree. It doesn't mean not taking good bluffs. Doesn't mean never 4-betting either. 4-betting a bit less. I'll play a 4-bet pot here. I should have small balled this actually in true Weasel style, shouldn't I? Should have called the 3-bet this deep and just played the 3-bet pot probably. Oh well. Sometimes I just like autopilot. But I think the more Weasel thing to do there is call for the flavor of the stream. Ferret maybe? Yeah, it could be Ferret. A more aggressive Weasel. Is a Ferret more aggressive than a Weasel, would you say? Probably, right? Annoying spot to have King Queen off in. It's almost certainly overbluffed. I feel like these spots are so overbluffed in late position. Maybe jamming the King Queen off there is okay. Probably is. Weasel with rabies? Yeah, that's definitely scarier. That's more like when they win a pot from you, they're so tilting to play against, so you just play like crap for the rest of the session. Pete, you'll have more time to talk if you use autofold. But I can't do that though. It's against my every fiber of my being. David, I can't do it. You don't want to be a yappy dog? That's understandable, yeah. Definitely understandable. I don't like them very much either. I don't mind big dogs. I'm not really a dog person. I have 2 dogs, but I'm not really a dog person. My wife made me get dogs. When these ones expire, is that the word? I don't think I'll get any more dogs. No more dogs. Children's is enough. Children's and cats and goats and shit. I don't need any more dogs. Too many dogs. Let's play the weasel style. Let's check. Half pot check, lots of check. Actually, third pot check here, but still lots of check in this line. I have a really hard time folding in spots where like capable players are attacking when they're actually probably still not bluffing. This is one of those spots. I think that's one of my leaks, just putting it out there. Ten 9 isn't really in villain's range here in this node. I bet it is actually. I bet it is actually with the recreational. Let's get greedy. This is very greedy. Ace 4, Ace 5, King Jack, Queen Jack, 10s, 9s. Very greedy. I have to fold the spot against the pink tag. Kinda sucks. That's a very greedy River Valley bet. This guy's playing the Clanty blind versus blind, which is unique. It's not something you see every day. The BVB Clanty. Maybe should check River there, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty comfortable bet folding. Against recreationals, I get super greedy sometimes. I think it's okay, but against a reg, it's a pretty terrible river bet. A mouse is the thing. I don't know if it's a very good style. Mouse sounds like you're now just being too timid. Easter sale is live until Monday, guys. You've got until Monday to take advantage of the £80 off of this guy, the 200 odd pounds off of this guy, the free database review included. It's refreshing to watch a new streamer who isn't just clicking fold all day. Her playstyle is the perfect mix of aggressive creative. She's definitely not a net no. She's definitely got a load of heart. Talking about Shu here, yeah. You can tell that the coaching has changed her game in the short term. You've subbed her on Twitch, interacts with chat, listens to electronic dance music also. Yeah, definitely. She's a good streamer. She's a good player. A lot of potential. Just rough around the edges because she's new, but loads of potential. Loads and loads. You could four table the style. If I wasn't on stream and it wasn't going to look really hideous, I would four table the style because it's just very, very easy to do that. Wonder what my 3-bet stat is. 11%. How is it still 11%? I've been trying to play like a weasel, man. Maybe I just naturally 3-bet too much. She plays very well. Yeah, I agree. She played very well today, especially. No, I think she'll crush. I think she'll go really far. For sure. I feel like I play the weasel, says Ian plays chess, because I feel like I can pick up more information from villains' bet sizes and timing, how much more information translates into more EV. Yeah, well, if that's your natural style, it's definitely a weasel thing to do. Ace deuce, by the way, is there's a rule where you just have to 3-bet ace deuce soft blind versus blind. There's no two ways about it. You just have to. One of those hands. I'm very particular about that. What I like about Shu's game is that she's very good at folding. She's got the heart to bluff. She just needs to work on her value game. The value game is honestly like the only part that I would say is... I've said this on stream, right? This isn't something I wouldn't just say to her as well. It's the only part that really is in need of a bunch of work. The rest of it's just really good already. I would love to play her for any amount of money, to be honest. What do you mean? It's kind of annoying because like this is the last draw they actually expect you to have, but you've made so many missed draws that aren't good to bluff on the turn. Silly spot. Silly spot. I feel like on that river, honestly, after that line, they're pretty inelastic to sizing. That's why I didn't overbet. Unless I go huge, which I'm not really doing today in this style. Weasel style makes sense for Russian cash to avoid 30 BB plus big blind pots, thus avoiding the 1.5 extra rate. Yeah, true. True that. His hand is Queen Jack. He has Queen Jack. That's such a stupid hand. Like he's basically said, hey, look, I have this like really thin like value face up hand or like a cheap stab. He's not gonna bluff that river spot, I don't think. And he has like load of Queen X there, I think. I don't know. That spot's silly. Look at this net. I'm going to fold ace jack, the spot says back. Interesting. A little bit sticky calling river, I think, on that run out after turns 3-way, but okay. Just folding the pot there, guys, with a nitty looking player over a big sample, potting it at me after cold calling with pocket nines precisely. Just folding my catcher immediately. I don't care that it's ace jack. Fight the urge to care about the fact it's ace jack. Fight the urge to care. You don't have to care. You can do what you want. You can fold whenever you want. You're free to fold. Be the weasel. Double cash drop. Look at me pretending to care. Is that convincing? Yeah. This guy can have like any two cards and just be completely tilted. And have like 8-4 off. Will frequently have 8-4 off. Oh, the spades. The spades, guys. That's what you get. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. God. That hat is shocking viewing. Sorry you feel that way, Giraffe Banger. It's not a hat, it's a mask. Is that better? Is that better? Want me to wear it as it's meant to be worn? Fair enough. Can't argue with the river date. Can't do much about that. Would it be true to say that pool makes larger errors as a percentage of the pot in small pots with wide ranges, but makes larger errors in terms of big blinds and big pots with condensed ranges? Yes. That's very insightful. Yes. I think that's exactly how it works, actually. Okay. You convinced me I should play Sag. You're 62 VPIP and you're terrible sizing. I'm sold. I believe you could have queens here. I believe that you're going to shove the turn I'm going to call and I'm going to win. And I think you're going to have like jacks or something that makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to say thank you, and that's going to be the end of the hand. That's what I think is going to happen. I've made my prediction. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, you check. Okay. What will you jam over? Slash call with like ace jack, ace queen. Because that's pretty dead. I think this. I think you'll jam over this sometimes. I think now you definitely have jacks or ace 10 or jack 10. Maybe talking to villain in the second person is a good way to go. As Shu would say, taking my time. Deciding whether to bluff. Not sure whether to bluff. Should I bluff? What can you do? Did all we could. Small pots also happen more often and are really important. Both things are true. BB per 200? What kind of metric is that? Are you insane? Who measures win rate, loss rate in BB per 200? This is really uncomfortable to wear like that. I'm sorry, Giraffe Banger on Twitch. You're gonna have to look at the visor as the mask as a hat. Because that's how we're wearing it. We're wearing it as a hat, okay? Big blind weaker, open king suited. Sure. Defend this to min. Play some poker. It's about time we hit a flop, right? I haven't hit many flops. Time we hit a flop. See about this hand. Pretend we have ace queen. I mean, okay, fine. Would Weasel be more or less suited to netty pools? Weasel likes fishy pools best. Netty pools are okay though. Weasel likes pools where he's not going to get run over pre all the time, so he wants to avoid these spots. He doesn't want to be forced to play loads of like 0 EV, 4-bet and 3-bet pots by aggro warrior regs. He likes spots where people are just like also happy to chill and play small ball, and then he'll do it better than them. That's the idea. I saw this play once where you actually raise here. I saw this play once. I'm not going to do it, but I'll explain the theory behind it. You get better a6 to fold. You get called by like gutter sometimes, and it's like multi-way. Your hand is less good as a call. I've seen this in multi-way spots. I would have raised turn though, right? Such a good spot to raise turn against overbet though, really. No, I think we just call against overbet. Raise is super interesting here. That's a bit big. I should have gone like 40, I think. It's slightly big. Quite scary though if you got ace king in this spot, right? Got you. Weasel got snap out of Weasel mode sometimes. Good fold though. Very good fold, because no one ever bluffs you there. Very good fold. Impressed by that. Weasel got a few bites, you know, every now and then. Bite them back every now and then. You can't just play like a rodent all the time. Your general strategy is avoidant rodent, but some spots are just too good that you have to bluff them. They're just too good. But the only reason I found that was that on the flop, I was already aware that my hand was like flirting with the idea of bluffing. Editor, make a short out of that. I wish I had an editor that just watches every single minute of my footage. Then I could get them to do that. You see, so it's not just about never doing good stuff like that. It's just about finding the right spot. Patience. Okay, a couple of premiums, guys. I believe they call this premiums. Harrington on Hold'em. These are called premiums, yeah? So we should play them as such. By the way, £180 off or something at the moment, and coaching database review video made from Eurogame. Send your hands to Resident Pro James Shea. Send your database video only with Golden Carrot this Easter. Cold call the spot. I did say we were going to do a bit more cold calls, so let's do it. Just wanted to thank you for the grinders manual. You're welcome. I believe people still read that shit. Still read that shit. Who knew, man? Who knew? Another premium. We have a 43 VPIP here. So this is some good weaseling turf. Good weaseling territory. Nah, George. I think at that point you just go all in. You gotta be greedy in that spot. They're too merged in that spot, George. The king-queen hand. Too merged, George. Disagree, George. Sorry, George. Or is it Jorge? Jorge Terrano. It's definitely Jorge. Big bet check. This is my big bet as Weasel. Half pot turn, I said, and 3-bet pots in this spot, right? Don't block any of the king jack with these guys. What are the chances? None of the king jack. Ace jack, queen jack, nines, queens, tens. I think we're still gonna go for this. King of diamonds. 6-5 could call now as well. Yeah, I think we're still value shoving this spot, but it's slightly on the thin side. Not too thin. Not too thin by any means. No snap call is a very good sign. This villain is a huge nit. And I mean like off the charts nit. Okay. How come the ace king fold is good? How does he know you're not a wreck overvaluing worst two pair? He doesn't know necessarily. He might be watching the stream, might just know who I am first. Like some very, very famous, Ian. Very famous. But the reason it's a good fold is that the pool, by and large, does not overvalue two pair in that spot and do that. And the pool, by and large, does not bluff that spot ever. So if he runs into 1,000 humans, he will get absolutely destroyed investing a further penny with 4 outs there. Because that's effectively what he has, yeah? Small ball this spot. Let's go. Effectively 4 outs. What are you doing checking back this flop instantly? You have like jacks or something. Tens, nines. Guess I'll check. I guess. So overall, like the guy or girl will get wrecked playing that way, like calling just in case I'm a wreck. That's like you don't make an investment, a big investment like that in a pool full of tight people and passive people just in case it's a wreck overvaluing something. Like you just make peace with the fact that your ace king is toast because it's toast against that line. Even against me, it's probably toast. Because, like, do I find enough? Okay, I had a bluff that time. Do I find enough bluffs there? Probably not. Even against me, it could be toast. And I bluff way more in that spot than almost anyone in this pool. So, yeah. There's just no way you can do anything but fold. It's a great fold. It's not even a great fold. It's an automatic fold for a good player. But the reason I say it's great is that a lot of people don't have the willpower, the conviction, or the relative hand strength reading skills to fold there. Like, this is a great fold that not that many people can make, right? It's not a great fold. It's just an easy fold that not that many people make at these stakes because they're like, I have top pair. The guy led once, I have to call. No, you don't. Guy's probably just high equity bluffing value betting. You got a player behind you. Your hand is awful as bluff catchers go. Easy fold, right? Same spot. Different ranges, different relative hand strength, but same idea, right? Did I mention that's £80 cheaper? It's over $100 cheaper just now until Monday. It's the poker education you need, guys. If you're thinking about getting started in poker and you don't have any poker education and you expect to win randomly for no reason, you won't. There's no reason that you should just expect to win. Should have taken a bit of time here, actually. It was a bit quick. Yeah, okay. Gotta throw in the odd 4-bet bluff. It's the first one I've done today. Didn't get through. What can you do? If you could go back 20 years in time, says Future Luck on Twitch, would you have been the best poker player ever with the knowledge you have now? Yeah, probably. 20 years is what, 2006? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anyone being better. Like, like it was just such a dark age, you know? It was such a dark age. Just gonna small ball here against fellow retired run at once coach or Razor. Find some calls here, but not ace jack. It's highly blocking of the delayed c-bet bluff range. Not ace jack. Yeah, we'll take both of these. This one's obviously clear. This one is less clear, but broken stack, small blind. We'll do it. Fold, check, then half pot check here, building some checks. We'll go to showdown on this board. It's sufficiently dry. Easy fold, don't call those hands. So even though he's bluffing a lot there, ace 9 is highly blocking your bluffs and just bad in general, and it's a nitty looking player, so you just don't call that spot. I'll cold call small blind against the stack. This gets a little bit awkward to 3-bet fold. I'll just cold call. We can donk bet here. We have the king of hearts. I am going to lead this hand, actually. Got him! I'm going to call king 8. Play some small ball weasel. Raise fold is probably okay on flop there. Okay, what the hell have you got here? Either like big heart or no heart, and no part of board, so check is good. And you're just never calling anything here, right? You're never really bluffing. Oh, blood from a stone, guys. Blood from an actual stone, that spot. You could bluff any cards for any sizing and just print in that spot. Like, you should bluff everything there. It's impossible to make any money in that spot against this bill. It's impossible. Nah, I won't bother. So I would absolutely raise here a lot as Menace and Warrior. I'm going to call as Weasel. Well, sizing that makes ace-x indifferent here. You don't have a lot of air, but you do have some air actually. Like you jack high and stuff like that. Like people will fold an ace there. The thing you need to like get out of your head is like they won't fold an ace. Like they will to that sizing at some frequency. Some will, some won't, right? I'd be streaming limit hold'ems. Chat, yeah, I'd be reading in 2006 I was reading TJ Cloutier and Tom McAvoy's book. Then I heard about, like, was it Tom McAvoy? Someone told me a story once on chat. It might not have been Tom McAvoy, don't quote me on this, but one of these old time author guys, like, he got a coaching session with the guy in Vegas, and he took him to a hotel room and asked him to deposit money into the coach asked the student to deposit money into the coach's PokerStars account so he could give him a lesson. He was broke and then proceeded to like lose the student's money, and the student had to pay for the session. It's quite funny. This is like middle of the road hand that never really 3-bets the spot. I fold a few things here, not very many things. Just a couple of things. Is that a razor from back in the day on stars? Probably. I mean, how many erasers with a 7 can there be? I mean, the guy clearly doesn't want to hide from his former identity. Clearly wants to remain Eraser. Whereas I am not characters anymore. I should go back to just being Carrot, man. Maybe next name change, I just go full Carrot Corner branding. What do you think, guys? No more of these weird sludge avatars. I miss the sludge avatars a bit, but maybe we go back to Carrot. Back to our roots. Okay, so cold call. I'm gonna play some bets here. I'm gonna play some half pot still here. Maybe third pot's more apt in the spot. Half pot's okay. I don't really care. The idea is I'm playing a polarized strat-ish, but not like massively polarized. Queen, jack, nines, jacks, a 10. Yeah, I like block here. Weasley block. Very unlikely we have the worst hand now. Some stuff missed, not that much stuff missed. How much is he going to fold here if we go bigger? Kind of a close spot. Blocking ace queen there is not great for going big. I think it's okay. You can go a bit bigger there, but I think block's okay as well in that spot. King queen, yeah. People are gonna fold that spot quite a bit when you just triple big. Like they're not gonna. It's not a spot they're gonna pay you off all day in or anything. If it's a recreational, you need to go bigger though, for sure. It's quite an elastic spot, I think. A bit cold call. A bit weaseling. Gonna be a bit fussier than this hand here. Bluffing this combo is not going to perform well here against a reg that check bet twice. Against the fish, I'll perform reasonably well. I always feel like I want to make this distinction between regs and fish because it's important to understand. I better take a break, guys. Better take a break. Go for coffee. Should I come back? Should I stream some more? You enjoying Weasel? I'll probably stream for like another hour or so, maybe. If you guys would watch, if you'd care for that. No, that's helpful, George. Your game. Thank you. I do forget about that. And it's in line with the Weasel's style to care about these things. Alright, I'll go get coffee. And I will be back momentarily. Just leave this mask on the chair. In case you forget what today's agenda is. How creepy is this? Right, guys. Once more into the rodent fray. Weasel is up. Some small amount of money, I think, today. Maybe like a buy-in or something. Don't know if we're going to win as much as the Warrior won yesterday. But we're going to try. Oh my god, I'm spilling coffee all over things. An absolute idiot. Already wrecked my last computer like this, and now I'm spilling it on my laptop too. Great times. That's too bad, fortunately. Oh. Because my desk is way too small at the moment. I've got this makeshift desk. And it's cleaning. Right, the coffee stays over there now on the radiator. If I break this computer, I'm really in trouble. Really in trouble, guys. Right. I think the damage was superficial. Let's just move that back a bit. Okay, let's play some cards. I'm going to cold call the 7-5 suited. It's not much of an EV loss in theory, and we have some terrible looking players in the blinds there. Fun spot to start us off here. This is a big overinvestment, this c-bet. Be aware that our opponent's range on flop is probably far too wide. Unfortunately contains far too much ace-x. This is the spot basically the shoe started bluffing earlier today. It's somewhat tempting. That's a boat. How can we have anything? How can we cold call a 7 on the button? How can we have a queen when we check the turn? How do we not just have the jack 10 of hearts? Why do I run into a queen on this node? Like, how does that happen? Oh, so stupid. I mean, I actually don't know that we can fold to this ridiculous line at this price, because he might... I'm actually not going to fold, but it's usually going to be a queen, isn't it? Yeah. At that price, I don't know if I can fold to that ridiculous line when we played the hand that way. It's just some silly, like, semi-reg, though, so maybe we can. Like, no one ever bluffs that spot, ever. Should just fold. I should just fold that spot. How many times has someone called that river spot and won, guys? Like, how many times? Like, even though it looks like we can't really have anything ourselves, it just doesn't matter. It's like main character syndrome, I think, to care about it. Let's mix it up. Do a bit of check ball with a hand we'd usually bet. Almost certainly eights. Direct 8 offsuit. See, like, you think these guys might be regs, and then they're just absolutely not. Like, everyone is just way more recreational and fishy than you would give them credit for. I should just fold that 7 in that hand. It's so dumb. Like, it's so stupid. That's two really bad calls I made today. Otherwise, I think I've been playing quite well, but I made like two really stupid calls for no reason. The odds don't even come into that spot. Let's just be realistic for a second. It's like a queen every single time. Every single time. The narratives my brain was spinning there about like my line and blah blah. It's just such like not warmed up, not in the zone bullshit. It really is. Such bullshit, guys. It's actually just unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. Like, we're meant to be accurate facing aggression as the weasel, not playing like an absolute moron. So let's do this justice. Come on, you keep it together. It's been a long day. I've not had much sleep, sure. I just spilled coffee and nearly wrecked another computer. I'm on life tilt. Sure, all these things might be true. You still fold that spot, even with all that going on. You're meant to be a professional, man. Meant to be an educator. Meant to be setting an example. Come on. Let's get a grip here. Let's get some willpower going. We don't need much willpower to fold that the least bluff spot in the universe, right? We don't need much. Just a little bit will do fine. Just a smidgen of willpower. God. No thanks. Yes, please. But know when to fold them and know when to hold them, guys. You gotta hold them in that one and fold them in that one. You know what I'm saying? God, what an insanely bad call. God, that's two insanely bad calls today. Who? Why? Why do it? Hello, Nicola. How are you? Good to see you. Small ball. I'll avoid the spots I'm involved in other spots. Super close. I resent folding to this line, but there's a time and a place to fold to that line, and it's king 10 of clubs on that board. Hijack, button, 3-bet pot. Good fold, Pete. Thank you, Pete. I start commending myself for my good folds. Start building about folding momentum. The weasel's about making good folds. Come on. That's the whole point, is to make good folds. Don't hate betting turn there, actually. Really don't hate it at all, but it's going to do pretty well. The check caller does not do well in the 8th, nor does the better, honestly, particularly, but there'll just be a lot of like natural combos that are easy to call one and fold on that turn. It's just one of those spots, isn't it? Play range check on these boards as Weasel, as anyone really. This is 100 NL. It's not tidy on Twitch. This one I feel okay about. This one makes very little sense. The sizing scheme. I'm going to take my time with these calls though and make sure I'm not making stupid sloppy ones. I really want to call here as well, to be honest. so much like Jack 10 that we have here that can go for this, but it's a paired board and it's this pool. Oh man. Any 8. It's a little too straighty. It's an unknown as well. Like if that's a warrior reg, I think I'm gonna call ace jack of hearts there, guys. I think so. It's not quite comfortable making that call and when there's so many value in the paired straight board against this pool. They're just too nitty than I give them credit for, man. The backdoors of 6-5 are very bad on 10-10-9. It's worse than on like 10-10-3. It's just an easy continue. A lot of raise. Someone asked me about the rabbit playstyle earlier. I think it would be kind of bad. I think it would just be kind of bad. Let's play a 3-bit pop. The Queen Jack of Hearts. I'm going to fold this one. I don't think check, check, bet is particularly bluffed. Blind versus blind on this run out. It's a bit too hard to miss, and the Queen of Hearts is a very bad card here, I think. If he's bluffing, it's got to be like the Queen 6 suiteds of the world and stuff like this. Do you ever compare yourself with other educators like Hungry Horse? Yeah, I mean, not in a... Honestly, this is like close to a flop fold against hijack. It's close. I think that's a pretty clear bluff, that one, when that run out. Do I compare myself with other creators like Hungry Horse? Not really. Sometimes thoughts come into my head like, what does he do differently to me, and what do I think of it? And like Hungry Horse is extremely skilled marketer. He's much better at marketing and reaching the mainstream, and he also teaches a format of the game that's much more mainstream marketable than what I do. So it's a little bit hard to compare. Recreational player in the blinds here, good weaseling spot, by the way. Or range check this spot. I did a video with Hungry Horse maybe about a year ago, yeah, I think, something like that. We're going really small here. I have a fairly substantial nut disadvantage, very thin value range when I'm betting, which is not going to be often. I don't actually think people are c-betting this board that sizing with too many bad hands. They're betting... Ace of Diamonds is a very bad card here as well. It's blocking like most of the bluffing range. Not most of the bluffing range, that's an absurd thing to say, but you know what I mean. It's not a particularly good combo to bluff catch, and I don't think that texture in a cold call configuration is going to get that under bluff. I think Ace Queen is a catcher there. Can he ever have Ace Queen himself? It'd be very thin. Very, very thin. I think Hungry Horse does a really good job of marketing the format of the game, his coaching style. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm just too tired. Sorry, I'm just knackered. It's been a very sleepless night last night. It's just a shit night. So I am going to... I was going to stream till like 2:30, 3, but I think I'm going to give myself a bit of a rest now. Got a couple little things to finish off before I take the weekend off. And on Monday, we'll be back with another style. Rodent has... Weasel has won like maybe 10 big blinds or something. It's not been a particularly great session. I don't think we've run very well in this session. I don't think we've played that great either. Made a few lazy, sloppy calls where we should have folded. Like, not very happy with that. Did find some good aggression. And overall, small balled okay. I think I handled aggression mostly okay, but like kind of a C+, B- for handling aggression today. Something like that. Accuracy in small pots, reasonable. Hitting people with rare aggression, A- for that. Did well with that. So Weasel has a few elements. What I might do if I run these as like workshops, we'll have like things we want to hit, like small pot accuracy, facing aggression accuracy, rare aggression accuracy. Because you do want to be able to, like, if you're generally playing this tight passive-ish style, you want to be able to hit people when they don't expect it. It's going to improve your fold equity once you're a known Weasel. You need to capitalize on those like very unexpected high fold equity spots sometimes. So there'll be areas we like grade each profile on. And yeah, I think kind of a break-even-ish session. It'll either be the polar bear, or you guys are hoping for this, right? So you can see me wear this mask all day. The menace. All day on Monday. Monday, I'm thinking about 9. I've got it scheduled for 9 a.m. That might be ambitious, but we'll see. Have I ever been to Casino Gran Via Madrid? No. You only play online? Yeah. I've never really been a live poker player. I played live, of course, sometimes in my life, but not much. So that was the Weasel. I wasn't on my A game today. I played better yesterday, I think, than I did today. More sleep the night before than I had last night. Generally the correlation. And we will be back Monday, won't we, Evil Clown Mask Maniac profile? Yes. Don't forget to check out Card Corner's silver card passes and golden card passes. They are heavily discounted only for Easter. Ah. That's pretty creepy, right? Pretty creepy. Yep. Yeah, definitely think the Hungry Horse content is more... It's faster to digest than Carrot Corner. Carrot Corner is long-term education. It's about like really learning how the game works on a deep level, and it's about a poker career. That's what we're all about. That's why we talk about complete system, why we talk about our poker career. We're not about quick fixes. We do have a course cash injection in the Silver Carrot. We do want you to start playing exploitatively really well at low stakes early on to help you build a bankroll and grow and progress through the stakes while you're learning how the game works. And we have other courses and videos that do that in Golden Carrot as well. But we're very much on long-term building. And yeah, it shows if you look at our Discord server, we've got people that started a couple of years ago with our content there. It takes a bit longer to see results sometimes. Sometimes you even get worse before you get better, but overall, yeah. Right, guys, gonna do a few more tasks now, finish up my day, take the weekend off, chill a bit, and hopefully my son allows get some sleep tonight. I'll see you guys Monday morning for another Persona. Got a video highlight reel of yesterday's game as the Warrior, hopefully dropping. If you missed that, you can catch the highlight reel over the weekend. That'll be dropping at some point over the weekend. Check out the link in the description for a sale, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.